Hello, this is The Contest, Fantasy Footy Show where we'd like to jump in a time machine and go back 7 days. I'm Jesse, I like redraft for a reason. And with K-Man, he's Jill Hatwinner. We're your hosts, we like fantasy footy. You can follow K-Man on Twitter at K-Man_TC Fantasy. You can follow me on Twitter at Contest Fantasy. K-Man, mate, how you doing?
Woo! What a doozy! That was a doozy round one, hey?
Yeah.
that was great. That was great. Injuries.
Yeah.
Rookie roulette. North Melbourne smashing up Port. Gee, I enjoyed that game. Really enjoyed.
That was a great game to
I didn't
watch.
enjoy having the captain on Butters, but I loved that game.
Did you also make that mistake?
Well, there's a story.
Oh, thank goodness.
I had the C on English, and then I listened to another content creator's podcast, and was influenced. Idiot.
Why wouldn't Butters be good in that matchup?
Yeah, I
And who
know.
would have thought Foss would do such a good job?
Second-year player.
It should have been. And this, so much for the golden run for Port as well. Like Connor Rozee, who we said, we said all preseason, we're like, well, he's in our team, but there's no value there. And what do we know?
Patches.
89 points. Patches.
Mm-hmm.
You've always said this.
Yep, always.
You've always been ahead of the curve.
They're just almost never again lists. Port Adelaide players. That's 2 years in a row now. Just can't.
It's getting there. You do know, though, argument against the never again list.
Yeah.
If Bales had just played Tom Stewart, I don't know if you listened to their podcast.
Yeah, no, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
but anyway.
But it was a doozy. I loved it. Woo!
Yeah. Do you know? I was thinking of a Seinfeld, and it's in season 1 when Jerry buys the jacket, and George is like, "How much did you spend? How much did you pay for this jacket? $300, $300." Yep. What was it, $400? You're a sick man. You're a sick man. Me, I'm a sick man. And you know why? I want to read for you. I had this up and then Twitter's reset itself. Can I read to you the number of errors I made? I listed them out. I put them in a list because I had to see for myself what kind of sick man I am. Started Roberts, started Grundy over English, started Decam over Eljack, started Windsor over Fonte, benched Grill, benched Jakes, benched Devrob for Lombard, captained Butters, and didn't start Nick Dacos. I did all of those things.
The cool thing is 80 points separates 8,000 through to 40,000. So tight.
Yeah, I'm a bit further back than 40,000, mate.
It's all good. It'll even itself out.
Okay. What's the whistle song?
Oh, just they have to go. There's 2 songs that have to go. So I watch all my games on KO, and whenever there's an ad break in play,
yep.
It's like after last year, I thought, okay, they've scrapped it, and it's back, and it's longer. And the other one
is that the Telstra
still
one?
Want to close my eyes. It's like, they're done. I'm done. I'm gonna have to watch everything in silence.
Can I get you to sing that again? Don't want to fall asleep.
Oh,
sorry.
Man, they have to go.
Yeah,
all of them.
Also, the whistle noise on KO as well. Like, when it's on that awkwardly silent like loading screen when they don't have any ads to show you.
Yes, yeah.
And then all of a sudden you get the big whistle sound effect. Jeez.
Yeah.
Like I'm dodging debris or something. Lions look terrible.
Yeah, tough spot. Not 8
ideal.
players out?
Yeah.
Not ideal.
Yeah.
You lose your captain. You lose your other captain. You leadership group. Look, I was saying this to a mate today. Beating the Bulldogs by 20 points. Just seal the deal. No.
Yeah.
And that's turned into 0-2. 3 suspended. A couple of injuries. But we'll be all right.
I think so. If we've shown anything the last couple of years, is that we'll be all right. Do you know a friend of it?
Actually, while you were there, what did you think of Draper's game?
I thought he had patches. I thought he had moments. He had moments where I thought, this is a guy we want in our team. He's got really good hands. Like, he's got really good aerial hands. And we need a guy like that. Since Joe Danaher, we haven't had someone. I guess Logan Morris has appeared, obviously, but we haven't got another forward with quite the capacity to take a really solid contested mark outside of Logan Morris. And I think Draper probably offers that in the long run. He looked rusty. He looked a bit slow at times, but there was a couple moments where he dashed out of the center bounce, and there were a couple moments where he took some awesome grabs in the forward 50. What do you think of Oscar Allen?
Yeah, I mean, a long time out of footy. He'll work his way into it.
That's true. I can't decide on my height of this chair. I keep going down and up and down and up.
So tell me about this last touch rule.
Well, it sucks. I want the throw-ins back. Do you know why it sucks? Okay, it won't suck once they've fixed up this one issue. Teams are already exploiting it.
Yeah.
They're already exploiting it. We knew this would happen. It's taken one round, and already you're getting these teams blocking, or trying to look like they're not, but they're blocking other players so that they ensure a free kick. They're allowing it to roll over the line, so they get a free kick. That sucks. What about you? What do you think of it?
Yeah, you're right. They'll find a way. It's either let the ball go, so it kind of looks like they're trying to keep it in, but it's not. And then you've got these amazing dives for a last touch.
Yeah.
fingertip stuff. So it just goes over. They're forcing it out now. They're diving to force it out.
I don't mind the dives, to be honest. It's a bit acrobatic, at least. Gives a bit of showmanship to the game. Yeah. Everyone, today we're going over the narratives that are coming out of round one. Will these narratives shape our season? Are they just a bit of smoke? Who knows? We're, of course, bringing back the trade block with a new and improved sound drop instead of the old, was it the Jamaican drums that we used to have?
Oh, I like the drums. Yep.
Do you want the drums? I mean, we can bring the drums back. I got no problem with the drums. Help you make your trade decisions. But first, a fan favorite, and I don't know if we have this soundbite in this. We don't have it in here, do we? Oh no!
I'm just going to throw something
we'll have to
in.
edit it in.
Are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. See how this.
Beautiful, love it. It's Giddy Up and Mike the Phony. That is back. Before we get stuck into it, if you dig the content, remember to chuck us a follow, 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Like, share, subscribe over on YouTube. We really, really appreciate you staying with us and supporting the show. Giddy Up and Mike the Phony, where we go over our punny names for our best and worst of the week. I'll pass it to you, mate. Kick it off. What do you got?
Look, I've got 10.
Love it. I came for a show.
Okay, I've got 2 giddy ups. I've said the name before, so it's not really a new one. Jacques Villeneuve on the field. Thank you very much. Well played. And the other giddy up is the Englishman. I was toying all week. I still should have stuck fat with the captaincy. But Jacques Villeneuve and the Englishman. Giddy up.
Love it. Giddy up.
Mike the Phony, I've got 10. No, Mike the Phony. First one, Bear Grylls on the bench. Unbelievable, Bear Grylls. That's actually a Mike the Phony myself.
Yeah.
I've got Shy
Agreed.
Gallop.
Aww.
Too shy to touch the ball on the weekend.
Oh, poor fella.
Just didn't get his hands on it. And that risk has already got a red line through it. And Darcy can't jump against Lockie McAndrew. That was my big risky play. It was interesting. He just kept on doing, like, if you compare English, what I loved about English on the weekend is he had the great jump, but he was whacking these balls. He was getting meterage, putting the ball into space. His mids would run on. And Darcy Cameron was trying to be really precise, tried some finesse, was very shallow, was obviously looking for your day crosses, and in the end just kept making him 50-50 ruck contests. Just beast him, man. Get out there and hit it. and there was a lot of drawn ball ups, and he lost a few as well. So I reckon he lost a good 10 points just in ball ups, which was highly frustrating.
For both our sakes, because we both have him, I really hope that he fixes that element of his game. Good opportunity for him to take the bye and get some practice in. My giddy up is Dan cruising, because this man is cruising along in his new role. Oh my goodness.
The Rocket Man.
Fantastic. The Rocket. Pew.
Who sung that?
Take off. As
should I do this? That's an easy one.
It's not.
What am I doing?
It's the movie. The guy with the
Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
Yeah.
How do we not? I saw him live. I went to his show a few years ago.
Come on.
No, I'm sorry. We have to pull it. Hang on. Rocket Man. This is too embarrassing. Rocket Man singer.
There's people yelling.
Elton John.
Yeah, come on.
Goodness. I kept thinking Billy Joel. It's like, that's not right. That's the Piano Man.
See, that would have been my giddy up. Elton John.
Elton John.
The Rocket Man.
My microphone is Brad's got the trots. Brad Scott, because the only thing I can think of as to why all of his best players had sub 70% TOG or whatever it was is that the man had the trots. He was constantly going to the bathroom, so that and he couldn't give the instructions about these rotations. So Archie Roberts, oh my god,
bizarre game.
Archie Roberts had 69% TOG.
Yeah,
69 or 59%, something like that. Leading. Ridiculous. What is happening? Best ball user. Meanwhile, Archie Perkins is on the field kicking balls.
I got a theory on it. I'll share.
Just threw my pen. Yeah, in a bit. Okay. The other microphone is me, Messy Jesse, because as I rattled off at the beginning, I made possibly every wrong call that you could have possibly made to start the year. L-Jack's in my team for most of... I was never super confident on L-Jack's. I just want to put that out there. It's not like I was planting my flag. It was sort of like a compromise pick. But he was in there until the day before. Picking Grundy over English, good match. Yeah, it's true. But he's not going to do 120 every week. But still. Anyway. All right, I got to move on. It's time. It's fine. Giddy up in my microphone. I forgot... I forgot to put out the call out on Twitter until it was too late. So we don't actually have any listener puns. But listeners...
Yeah, we got to kick that off.
Yeah, we got to do that. Be on the lookout on Twitter, everybody. We ask for your puns as well. Should we get into the main chat?
Yeah, do you want another jingle? I'm just going to throw one out there.
Yeah, do it.
That's my favorite.
Oh, that's your favorite?
Yeah, I like that one.
Shout out to Jimmy Jams again,
Jimmy,
who created all these things for us. Absolute legend. We're going to go over, our narratives out of round one. What are the storylines that we could tell ourselves that could make or break us for the rest of the year? What are our overreactions? We also threw to you guys on Twitter to have your say as well. So we're just gonna chat it out, talk about these. I'll pass to you, mate. Kick us off. What's your first narrative coming out of round one?
Ranking panic. I just wanted to put it out there.
Is this because of what I sent you? Is this because of me on the weekend?
Oh, look. We've had some ranking panic, and let's just put it out there. It's round one. There's, as I said, 60 to 80 points separate thousands. It'll even itself out, and I'm sure those teams in the top 5 are quite obscure. So stick to process. Get your fix-up trades right. Get through best 18. It'll all work out. Please don't throw it all away. Let's not have our listeners make some just aggressive trades to get some points. It's not the way.
It's too early for rage trades, isn't it? It's too early for rage trades.
It is. And you just mentioned it. How many people just made those 50-50s? Some people may have got the 25s right, and that's the difference. So
totally,
it'll come out.
And this is the thing. Like I was telling you, I was definitely raging. You were probably sitting on the other end of the phone on the weekend, like, geez, all right, just settle down, mate. here's the thing. I look at my team, and I actually quite like my team. It was just, as you say, there was one or two players I wish I'd started a different player over, but it was my rookies. I just started the wrong rookies, so I got the wrong scores. That dropped me, and I just happened to get all of the rookies, all of the starting rookies wrong, and all of the right ones on the bench. And so, if that's happened to you, you're not alone, and don't let that tarnish your feeling about your entire team. And it's going to be okay.
How about this? In the last quarter, I reckon 5 minutes into the last quarter, maybe even 10 minutes into the last quarter, I was sitting about 9,000th. I thought, oh, here we go. It's not that bad after all. I didn't have Dersma. Lombard was on my bench, and they kicked a few. And by the end of the fourth, I was out at 17,000, just like that. So it's minimal points.
Yeah, it happens. I'm bringing an old narrative back, mate. Jagger Smith is a top 30 midfielder in 2026.
You nailed it.
Look, I know it's one round. I know he's not going to do this every week, but he will have weeks where he does better than this. He'll have weeks where he does worse. I think I'm staking it. I think I'm going to make this claim. He'll be a top 30 mid. How freaking good did he look, dude?
Yeah,
how fantastic did this kid look?
He looks really good.
He looks outstanding.
He doesn't look like a footballer though, does he? Just looks very unassuming.
He's quite small, hey.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's obviously bigger in real life. You know, when you go to the game.
Oh yeah.
And you go, oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
That's Finn Callahan. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's massive.
Yeah, he's massive.
A big lad.
I didn't think he was that big though. It's like, no, blimey.
Even it's the ones that you're right. It's the unassuming ones. Like it's the ones where you go, oh, I watch you on TV every week, and you just kind of look like a normal bloke, and then you look at them and you're like, oh, nah, mate, you are three of me.
Another player like that, I reckon, is Mitch Owens. Mitch Owens from St Kilda.
You reckon?
I reckon he's a lot tall. He must play tall, but I think he's a bit bigger in real life than what he looks like on telly.
Well, Mitch Owens, love to have you on the show, mate. If for no other reason, then you could stand up on camera and we could measure our heights. That'd be fantastic. Over to you.
This one, Carlton and Essendon don't have the fitness to play that brand of footy. Both of them they've changed this game style to run and carry, handball changed, go at speed, and they're gassed. They're absolutely gassed. And I wonder what happened pre-season where there was this change of game style, but was there a change in strength and conditioning programming? Because even Sam Walsh, I don't know if you noticed, but the back end of the third quarter, he could not run. Their main guy, I know he's bulked up and that's perhaps having an impact on his ability around ground, but he was absolutely gassed and couldn't go from stoppage to stoppage.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I did notice it, and that's going to be the concern with a Walsh particularly, isn't it? So many of us have Sam Walsh, and you brought it up as well. Maybe not that exact lens, but can he put the four quarters together, especially within the confines of that Carlton system? You're right. It's the fitness, but it's also the roster. It's the players. Both of those teams have like a select few elite players, but they just don't have the supporting cast to be able to create the connections between all of those elite players to get that kind of game style going. And I think they're really going to start. I mean, we've seen Carlton in patches do look fantastic for like 3 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And then it just all kind of falls apart.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think they'll give you a quarter where it's like, wow, look at this footy. And probably match-up dependent. It might sustain longer against a West Coast or a Richmond, but I just don't think it's sustainable for where they're at the moment. I love the change of games. Looks really good to watch, but as a fan, I could imagine it's pretty frustrating at the moment.
So from a fantasy perspective, does that leave you concerned for basically any Carlton and Essendon players then?
100%. Darcy Parish looked gassed. He looked tired second half. And you saw the time on grounds. It wasn't as if Darcy Parish had that much time off ground that he came on absolutely buzzing. Third quarter, he just looked cooked. I think it really does.
Dan Houston for D1, mate. not to overreact.
Oh, Rocket Man.
That's the Rocket Man. Yeah. Serious, well, probably not fully seriously, but Dan Hughes for D1, he looked awesome. He looked awesome. The role is real. He's got the kick. He's got everything we want him to have within the confines of this Collingwood system. Last year, I think we've seen a couple of games of this now in a row, and obviously 2 games, tiny sample size. We probably want to see 3 more weeks of it, but how I'm feeling now is this like overreaction process is like last year, I think we could just put this down to it was a guy in a new system and they didn't quite know how to use him and he didn't quite know how to function within that system, getting used to those new players. We saw it on the weekend with the Lions team. So many of our key players were out. They just weren't gelling like they usually do. It was so many new players on the field at once that they just didn't know how to work with one another. I think that's what last year was for Dan Houston. Collingwood just didn't know how to mesh with him. He didn't quite know how to mesh with them. It was probably getting to him by a few weeks in. And now we're seeing him flourish with the benefit of a whole, 2 preseasons, a whole season with them. I just think he looks awesome.
Yeah, he looked great. And when you've got Goulden concerns for those who have the injuries, is there some flexibility? We talked about Rosie's got some DPP. Is there ways that we can now trust some of these players in the back line? But I'm sure we'll talk about the mid-prices in a second. My next one is get them off the bench. All of these Bear Grylls, Jacques Villeneuve, Lindsay, just get him off the bench. Dev Rob, get him into your side. And someone mentioned it later. I won't spoil it, actually. It comes up later. So just some good rookies to start with. And let's cash in. I guess best 18 now as we have all of these cover options, these loop options. So what a good bunch of rookies that we can now start getting the value, the cash generation, but also adding to our scores as well.
Do you know I had Dev Rob at F6 until I listened to another content creator the day before, and they convinced me to flip it, and I flipped it, and no good. No good.
I was never going to flip that.
So, yeah, what was I thinking?
You were overthinking.
I was overthinking. I'm an overthinker. I'm a textbook overthinker. Not just in fantasy either. Brody Grundy's a bust, mate. He's ruined.
Could you believe it? Oh,
Brody gun shy, because what was that?
What was that?
What was that? He looked concussed.
That was tough. That was a tough watch.
Not a difficult matchup. Yeah.
Well, Darcy Ford, he's, you know what? I think dueling with Big O for the last 3 seasons has really prepared him well. We know Big O. He wasn't a Grundy in terms of hitting players who you want at stoppage. It's how can I nullify? How can I negate? How can I make it really difficult for my opposing ruck? And we're talking about the top dogs here. He just did a good job, and he's doing a good job.
Yeah. Anyway, unfortunately, I can't rage trade Brody Grundy, so he will remain in my team and hopefully put up a 137 against Lloyd Meek. I'm sure that's going to happen. Oh, God. What's your next one, mate?
Fix-ups, where do we start? Is it the rooks? Do we make sure that we fix up these rookies? Is it these failed mid-prices? Do we attend to the injured players of Goulden, Marshall, Kirch? There was another one as well I wanted to add. Pooh was injured again. So there's going to be a lot of soul searching in terms of what's our priority this week. Value is king. So what's going to set you up for the next 5 weeks? And there's some decisions to make in the balance of making these fix-up trades, because they're really going to dictate what's going to happen into mid-season buys.
Yeah, there's a lot of the first couple rounds of fantasy are always a bit of a mess, hey, because there's always those unexpected injuries that are thrown your way. Unfortunately, probably didn't see it coming with Goulden. Again, you'd think, oh well, he's had his turn, he'll be fine. Feels for you as well. I just remembered he's your M1 in keeper, so that's your round 1 pick down for 4 months. I just read 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah, for 4 months.
Yep.
Back just in time for finals potentially. So that's pretty brutal. And you were absolutely bang on in the preseason about Grlj. It turns out you should actually be on the radio. I think you might actually be like a legit. I'm not glazing you. I think you might be like a genius AFL analyst, mate. You have made some calls this preseason, and I'm like, why? It's like, you wear those glasses, and I'm convinced they're fake. I think you got 20/30 vision here. You can just see it all.
What did I tell you about Nando as well?
You did. He spent a couple of days in my team as well. So
yeah,
you can keep him though.
I should probably do what I say. Yeah, massive concerns for Grlj. Managed. See, I missed that. This was a weekend where I thought I just can't catch up with anything. So I didn't see the Grlj is going to be managed into this game. If that was the case, he would have been straight out. But what, a 40 odd? Oh, great.
Who would he have been out for you?
Well,
if you had any ideas,
I probably would have done what many had done and gone to, say, a Bergman, or something like that. But a 50 odd, that wasn't great. Windsor 60, got the role, looked good in patches, and then again gassed, put out to a wing, a bit of pastures during the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some interesting spots in that defensive mid-pricer bracket that didn't hit the mark, and now do you think it's a failed pick, or do we trust the role and know that they're mid-prices for a reason, and eventually they'll come good?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm with you. And it was the same issue for me. Like it makes it easier to swallow the Roberts pick because it was going to be him or Colby. So either way, it would have been a horrible failure. And that's fine. Just pick the rookies with the coolest names and it's all going to work out.
They are cool names. Rattle those off.
Lockie, I know this is the incorrect way to say it, but it's the fun way to say it. Lockie Jacques. Jagger Smith. Sam Grlj.
Bear Grylls.
Milan Murdoch is a sick name.
Cracking name. Milan.
What an absolutely fantastic name. What'd you say his brother's name was?
Oh, they're both. I'm sure one's Roma. Maybe I got that wrong. But
Roma Murdoch. That's pretty cool too.
The three are like that. Yeah, I tried to.
It's the alliteration that really just chef's kiss, And my last one is Geelong of the New Collingwood, the comeback kings.
That was a good comeback.
That was a good comeback, wasn't it? Wow.
I'd imagine the spray would have been pretty
elite.
Impressive.
Yeah. Well, did you see the footage of Bucks getting a spray from Chris Scott?
Have you seen the other footage where they're sitting next to each other and it just looks, I don't know. Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I'm going to look for it now, though. Ooh, wonder what's trouble at Geelong Town. All right, some listener narratives. At Crest Champ said, we're all going to overreact to Melbourne and Port player scoring. It'll be fine. I actually think this is a really interesting one because, you've said Porter patches. So is it an overreaction to be like, nah, Butters sucks, never again. Rosie, get out of here. Steele, you look like rubbish.
I tell you what, who have Port got next? Because I'm going to say,
it's the golden run, isn't it?
Pour them, because they're about to cop. They're about to cop Port Adelaide at their. Oh, they were just boys. They're about to cop Port Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval. Oh,
after possibly the world's biggest spray as well.
Yeah.
It would have been that, it's my first day on the job here, and you humiliated me. Yeah. Bonsville Wiz said Guns and Rooks was the way to go after all. Probably not an overreaction, to be fair. You'd probably sitting in the top 5K if you went guns and rooks with the right ones.
Some of these rooks are outperforming the mids, so and some of the primos. Primo scoring is really difficult. Like we've talked about. We'll talk about it later. If you've got a Goulden, who are you going to? You bring in a Bear Grylls
discussion. That one. That's right. Bring him in. I think that's what Roy's doing. At Shashan 811, Grundy owners should rage trade to LJax. I am all with you, my friend. It's not going to lie. It's the first trade I locked in. I wheeled myself back.
It's good.
But, it felt good. It's like therapy. At Aussie Samurai, all the best trade targets for Goulden have early buy rounds. We'll talk about Goulden later, but there's an interesting one because you could go so many different directions. And you said to me pre-pod, you don't like any of these midfield options.
No,
is it because of the buy round?
Yeah, it's just the cap scoring of these players. I mean, if you look at the top scorers for the round, Sicily, Ash, English, not many mids there. At
AFL Fantasy Loser, I relate to that name. Fantasy already sucks. Bring on the off-season. I disagree. Not the off-season. Bring back the preseason. The preseason is the fun part. I like the preseason. We're all right. We don't have to self-reflect in the mirror. It's fine. At Turnbull Lex, 3 rookies in defense looks like the go. Yeah, seems that way. Although, I mean, what's the bet that next week they'll all score rubbish?
Rookies are rookies. 100%. Right. Another week under Bailey Dale. You don't know what's going to happen at Western Bulldogs.
Can Bailey Dale lift himself, please, for the benefit of my draft team? At Turnbull Lex, at Kent_Hotter. Forward line cash gen will be the difference maker. Is there 4 guys under 400K you can trust to average approximately 55 or more? Are there? Probably not.
They did all right, though. The fellas that we've been looking at all preseason. Rochelle looked good. C-Mac, score was okay. I didn't like his role, but he had to kick a few to get there. Buderick got to an 87. Late 80s.
C-Mac, you know? Yeah, maybe. Okay.
Maybe not that much. The poo was looking good until he got injured.
Looked great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a shame, wasn't it?
That's a shame.
That's a shame. But those sub 400K guys, don't know. It's a bit tricky. I think Dev Rob, obviously.
Can you imagine that for a start? Was it 12 tackles? He's not doing that every game, surely.
Was it 12 tackles? Whoa. Tackles? Yeah, 12 tackles. 12, my goodness. Disposals.
He was awesome.
12 of those disposals were kicks too.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Played really well.
Wow, good on him. He's got a point to prove, I suppose. And at Palmy 987321, the game's gone past Jack Steele.
Jack Steele. Good finish. He got close to a 90. It was dire at one point, wasn't it? First quarter. I thought,
shocking.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to give him
the whole midfield. The whole midfield just couldn't score. Just couldn't score. Is he in your team?
Yeah.
He's in your team? I didn't start him in the end.
Oh, you didn't go?
He's not. Jack Steele's not in my team. But I did rank him very aggressively in redraft all preseason, so that doesn't look great now. So we'll see what happens. Thank you, everyone, for your listener narratives and engaging there on Twitter. We'll be posting things every week on Twitter so that we can get your ideas onto the pod, including Giddy Up on the Microphone every week, in addition to whatever else it is that we're talking about every single week. Trade block? I forgot about the jingle. That's fantastic.
Timing was mint.
Jimmy Jams, you timed that beautifully. Do you just know the delay now? Can you feel it?
Yeah, I wait. I wait for you to have about 5 words left. So I've got to try and work out, because sometimes you'll finish and then you'll say something else. But that time I just went for it.
Yeah, it's my word vomit personality. I just I think I'm done, and then I think, oh, hold on. Yeah. It annoys my wife. All right. If you're new, we do the trade block to finish off our Tuesday show at the beginning of every week. We go over the players you got to get rid of, the players you got to get out of here. We usually have a soundbite for that, but
get out of here
for it this week. Get out of here! Go home! What are you, crazy? You're a nut. We're also going to go over the must-have rookies because there's actually a long list, and I feel like a lot of teams would have gotten most of these guys this time round, but there's a couple of new names. There's a few you might have to swap in and out. We're going to go over fix-up trades, and then we'll call it a day. So, K-Man, who are the guys that you're looking at most to eject from sack lunch this week?
Oh, the first one is Shai Gallup. Look, tough matchup. I probably should have known better with some other key tall out. So he was the number one guy to shut down. So with Logan Morris out, it was pretty easy for the back six. And McCartan had an absolute blinder. So Cash Jan, look, he's still making some. And, I mean, he has his bye at the moment. So I can either hold him through his bye, but he's certainly a player that with the emergence of some of these other rookies that we can bring in similar price and have started their cash generation, it's probably a play. Ty Gallup. We just don't want these rookies to stall in cash. I think mid prices we can give it a little bit more, but once your rookies stall in cash, and there's some other guys there, we can use these fix up trades to make those.
For me, it's Archie Roberts, and I know there are a lot of people who probably have Archie Roberts in their team. He's one that I actually, in an ideal world, I actually wouldn't mind seeing another week from to see if they work out that TOG issue. The problem is his break even is now sky high, and if he doesn't hit that, well, he's just going to bleed cash, and it's going to be an absolute disaster. So it's one of those ones where it's like, I almost wouldn't be surprised if he put up a ton next week, purely because Brad Scott will realize I got to get my best players on the field. But it's like you can't risk it. So Archie Roberts has got to go. What about Parrish? Because our initial gut feeling, along with probably everyone, was that Parrish is a trade out. But is he actually a hold now? His break even 71, given all these other injuries and things. Is he actually just a hold for another week?
I think we need another week because we need to see what Brad Scott has actually done here. Is this the time on ground is indicative of where they're at? Or was there some managerial issues with rotations? So I'd like to see a backup. We know he's a gun. His first quarter showed the pedigree high points per minute he is. I think there's other issues at the moment.
Kirch, Bergman, got to go.
Just gross. Kirch with the finger. No, yeah, it was a finger, low time on ground, but it was where he came on. I mean, he's only lost a little bit of money. So, again, we could probably see this week if you've got some other issues with injuries, a Marshall or a Goulden. But, yeah, not ideal. The role, we always talk about role, right? We preach role, job security, those type of things. And that role is not conducive for AFL fantasy scoring. The issue is, who do you go to? Have we got money in the bank to go up to someone, whether it's you missed out on a Jack Sinclair or a Lockie Ash, if you want to go to those areas? The problem is, if we're not going to those areas, what mid-price can you pivot to? And nothing stands out unless you don't have a Houston, for example.
I think that's, if you've got Roberts, McKercher, Bergman, and you don't have Dan Houston, that's your obvious answer. Although, no, he's on a bye, so you actually can't go to Houston this week, really. But you'd go to him next week. So maybe you hold one of these guys for an extra week, go to him next week. But that would be the obvious option. But you're right. Outside of him, it's like you either have to try and go all the way up to someone, or go down to someone like. But even then, like if it's in the back line, Joe Fonte maybe. There are some other names we'll talk about.
Yeah,
but you can certainly look at those three. Goulden, Pooh, these injured guys, got to go.
Yeah, well, Goulden's 4 months, so got to go. 1 to 2 weeks could have been a play. Even 3 weeks for the caliber of Goulden. Best 18 scenarios, you could have covered it, but 4 months. Now it's, what do you do with the money? Do you go like for like? Do you bring in a Dacos? Do you bring in a Bontempelli? It's too much money for mine. Even Dacos. So you could keep Goulden for a week, just sitting there, cover him from best 18, wait for Dacos to come back off his bye. That could be a play. And then it's down, and again, looking for value midfielders. So maybe a Caleb Sarong, but I didn't like the spread of points. So for Caleb Sarong to get a 106, Brayshaw got a 50 odd. So what happens when Brayshaw gets more?
Yep.
Does that mean it's going to even itself out? Freo didn't look like they changed their game style too much. Looks very similar. So yeah, that midfield is an interesting space at the moment. Unless you're really prepared to go up to those high expensive guys, and I think they will at some stage come down in price. I don't know who the play is. LDU, what did you think? He's got a cracking run. Cracking run coming up.
It was a hard watch, LDU. I'm not ready to trade him out. In fact, he's one of those annoying ones that he outdid his break even, but he lost $2,000. And that's really silly in my opinion, but whatever. So it was a hard watch, but he did what he needed to do. You said your projections for him preseason were that kind of like 93 to 97 kind of range, something like that. So he sat within that. As you say, you pointed out to me pre-pod, he has got an absolutely awesome run.
Gold mine.
It should be, fingers crossed, if I can get a couple of tons out of him over the next couple of weeks, that'll be really. And when he was on, he looked fantastic. It was just that the points came in patches, I felt like. And when they came, he scored like 12 points at once. It's still just then he kind of didn't touch it for a while.
Game.
So
still played a cracking game. And then we go a bit lower. I mean, you got Windhager, and I think he maybe just got to a 90 odd. Florent. But they've got the bye. So dropping down a peg, again, looking for someone who's going to outscore and project, say, 15 to 20 points each week. It's a tough spread at the moment.
And those mid prices that we were looking at as options preseason in Harvey Langford, Xavier Lindsay, like these guys didn't pan out either. What did Harley Reid? I actually have no idea what Harley Reid got. Do you know what he got?
I got 54 in my head. Whether he got to a 60 odd.
Harley Reid 62. So
62.
You're not going there.
McCarthy? What did he go?
McCarthy.
80 odd?
Have a look. Why can't I? Oh, because I'm filtered by midfield. That's why I can't look at it. McCarthy. Sorry for this dead air time, everybody. Super interesting stuff. 88. So solid. But again, you've got... This is
a Goulden,
Yeah, you don't want to go from a Goulden. 100%.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. How much cash can coaches trading out a Goulden have in the bank? Because I think it's DT Lemon is carrying 900K in. I saw someone on Twitter say they're carrying 1.1 million because they're doing a double downgrade. They're just getting 2 fix-up rookies, taking the point hit in week 2, making sure they've sorted out their bench, and then they've got $1 million to splash next week. How do you feel about that kind of thing? Do you think it's too much, or are you happy to do that if it means maybe more flexibility later and sorting out your rookies now?
Oh, if the money's there to help you fix up trades, which is what we talked about weeks ago, that's obviously a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But I toyed with it today. I had Goulden out, Shy Gallup out, and I just brought in Milan and Braden Cook and said, you know what? I think I've got enough for best 18 to be able to sustain points. But ultimately, I want these guys making money. And then next week, with a few players coming off their bye, I might be able to do something with it. So rounds 1 and 2, I'm sure that money is going to be spent up big time over the next 4 rounds. So if it's there to fix up and get the value kick-started in your team, then obviously use that.
Last one, would you be getting rid of Ezekiel Euland? Would you be moving him on for a different rookie, do you think? Or would it be dependent on how many issues you were looking at? Because he's got a break even of 39 now. He dropped some cash.
The issue with Gold Coast is they now have so much depth with their lower tiered players that are scoring well. So we know their midfield is stacked, and when Raul comes back, it's going to be even more impressive. But, you got your pals. Their half forwards are scoring really well. Their back six, you got Rioli, Noble, Weller. I just think it's really hard if he's stuck on a wing, not only to adjust to AFL level, which we were concerned about a couple of weeks ago, but there's a lot of players there, a lot of players. So I think he's going to struggle. I really do. So he could be someone to jump off.
This was the concern in the preseason as well, is they're super deep at Gold Coast. No matter how much of a gun he is, he's going to sort of be on the fringe of the scoring potential from a fantasy perspective. So I think we sort of saw the potential for this coming. That is a good segue, I think, into just a really quick rattle off of who the must-have rookies are. Now, most of these names, I actually think a lot of coaches probably already have, save for a couple. So I might just rattle off this list. You tell me if there are any you disagree with, and then we'll talk about the ones that maybe people should really be targeting as the least likely to have. So Lockie Jakes, Josh Lindsay, Jai Sarong, Sam Grlj, Jagger Smith should be at the top of that list if you don't somehow have him already. Devrob, Blamires, Lockie McAndrew, Jack Carroll, Leo Lombard, although I have an asterisk there, he can probably filter it out. And then the two sort of new names, Rochelle, Milan Murdoch.
Where's he going with this? From Milan to Minsk.
Rochelle.
Well played.
And Braden Cook from Adelaide. So Murdoch and Cook probably the most likely trade targets this week for a lot of coaches. But would you agree with that list? Have I missed anybody, or is there anyone in there you're like, nah, get them out of there?
No, the list looks great. Doveston, what do you got? 50 odd, look good. Probably his first half was a bit quiet. I guess the thing with Murdoch and Cook is, can they back it up? Especially Murdoch. He would have been pumped up. His family was there. It was everywhere. Highly impressive. It's now, does he back it up? He had to kick 2 goals to get to that 90 odd. I still don't know where he plays. He was popping up everywhere.
He was everywhere, wasn't he?
He was everywhere. Cook's an interesting
one.
Like
the Road Runner.
Yeah. Now that Rankin comes back, is there going to be some adjustment? So it'd be interesting with team release. Even Blamires, although he looked great, there's some players coming back. So I'm actually starting to get a bit nervy because we really need them.
Yeah, I agree. And what does that mean for Rochelle as well? Oh, Rochelle. We got 2 Rochelles in the team.
Yeah, Rochelle, and Rochelle.
It sounds like a sitcom. Rochelle, and Rochelle. I think it was Louis. I was listening to a Pod episode weeks ago in the preseason. I think I heard Louis refer to Rochelle as Rochelle. And it made me second guess myself. I was like, is that the... So those of you must-have rookies, try and get some of those guys in if you don't have them already. Fix up trades. So this is the last little bit here before we sign off. This is, it's not the little bit, is it? It's the massive bit.
Yeah.
We've kind of organized this into options if you have Errol Goulden and then everyone else. Because a lot of people have Errol Goulden. I don't. And it was looking like a terrible mistake. And anyway, Errol Goulden fix-ups. I'm going to let you lead this, please, because you're actually facing this decision. So I'm really fascinated to hear, what are the thoughts for an Errol Goulden owner this week?
Yeah, there's a few options. With the flexibility in Rosie, could shift. So although it doesn't look great, you've got a Butters and Rosie M1 and 2. If you're missing a Sinclair, Lockie Ash has an amazing run, absolutely amazing run, a green run for backs. My only issue is it's that easy. That is he going to have any ball? Is he going to have any ball back there with Whitfield just streaming down the wing, Fonte joining in for fun? I did this last year, I brought in Ash, and it actually capped him. So there's some options if you wanted to play with some flexibility. Going down, I have some real concerns about who to shift to in the midfield. So, yes, you could pay up. You can absolutely pay up for a Dacos as he comes off his bye, a Bontempelli, a Zach Merritt. Still looked pretty good. I just don't want to pay up that much. I think I learnt from bringing in Gulden that it probably wasn't the right play anyway. So there's some options as well. And if you go down and looking for upside of some underpriced premiums, a Caleb Sarong stands out, but I talked about my concern. You could even go further to an Angus Sheldrick, who break even of 45, no Gulden. Heaney might be missing, it looks like just a week, no structural damage to his hamstring. Is he now going to see some consistent minutes and high time on ground? And if that's the case, he scores really well, and that's considerable value in a player like that. Durham scored pretty well. I think I need to see it an extra week. I don't know what's going on with Essendon. What's going on with Essendon at the moment?
With the concern with the Sam Durham, because I loved what I saw only because he's in my keeper team, and that felt fantastic. But is the concern with the Durham that, like, this week, I think, didn't Jai Caldwell score like an 80 this week? Is the concern with the Durham that those two scores could switch next week, and Jai Caldwell could score a ton and Sam Durham could go down to like 75 to 85 or something like that. And then all of a sudden you've got this very volatile up and down kind of Essendon midfield mix where you just don't really know, probably outside of Zach Merritt, you just don't really know who to trust on a week-to-week basis. And that's a bit scary, especially when you're using your money from a guy that you paid up for to be elite. It would feel like a bit of a bummer to kind of do a halfway move down to someone like a Durham, and then he just kind of gives you faffy scores.
Yeah, no, there's got to be 10 to 15 points of consistent upside. The good thing about Durham is he seems to have one gear. You're going to get 100% Durham. You're going to get Bull Durham. That's a cracker. You're
really good. Got to remember that one.
You're going to get Bull Durham. But yeah, but you could have to compete against Caldwell's first quarter. I thought, geez, this guy's up for a 140. Here we go.
Oh, I know. Looked outstanding.
And again, Durham seems to be a guy that can pop up in the forward half. All of a sudden, he's in forward 50. A bit unsure, but don't mind the ball. So am I missing anyone from that midfield? I mean, LDU, he does have that amazing run. I'm just looking for the players that I don't want to have to spend a fortune on. I really don't.
Let me actually pose that question to you, because so you didn't go LDU in the end, did you?
No, and I was
scared really high on
it. What was I scared off by? Oh, the McKercher playing midfield minutes. Remember I put the tweet out and said,
yeah, you did.
That's another body. Wardlaw's back this week, supposedly. So,
oh, fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, Ed Richards, Matt Kennedy, that's two weeks in a row at the moment.
But then do you want to get someone who's then going to be on a bye the following week? Like if you bring in a Matt Kennedy or a Bont, then they're on their bye next week. Having said that,
or a Finn
you were going to be facing a guy on their bye next week anyway, so maybe that's just a like for like, and that's okay.
And that's where a Sarong doesn't have the bye, if you can trust the Freo spread of points.
I don't like it though, the Freo one. But it could be a play of like, it could be genius, yeah.
I mean, we talked about Windhager and all those players as well. A Luke Parker playing at half back. Did you see that?
This was interesting.
Luke Parker playing at half back. He was the Scott Pendlebury of Collingwood's grand final year, of just controlling things, but also his scoring output was excellent.
I was going to say he was the Jack Zeeble of a couple of years ago.
Yes, same deal.
Yeah. And like that was a pick that was just awesome that year. So he's one to watch. If he does that again, although do you want to see it like a couple more times from a Luke Parker before you kind of do it? Or do you learn from last year when I remember Matt Kennedy last year, it was kind of that thing of like, oh, he's done a ton. Yeah, but do we really want to go there? Oh, he's done a ton again. Oh, can you trust it? Oh, he's done it. And all of a sudden he'd done 11 tons. We all traded him in and then he stopped doing it. Do you think if a Luke Parker does it again and he's still really good value, you just go, all right, you know what? This is a move to make. If there's a fix-up opportunity in that back line. Probably not this week, but next week, I wonder.
Yeah, maybe.
It's those tricky calls, hey?
It is. And the last one is Josh Ward. So Hawthorn,
Oh, okay.
he's averaging 90. He's just finished with a 107. Again, has a bye coming up. But I thought he was the player that we thought he was going to be and have the midfield time.
He was the one you were sort of looking at. I think, was it in fantasy fights maybe, or breakout players? He was the guy that you were kind of tossing up between him and Mackenzie, and you sort of leaned Ward in the preseason, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah. And then last few names we want to mention, just as, I think these are just general fix-up players, right? There's like, you've got your Milan, you've got your Rochelle, Milan Murdoch, and you've got your Braden Cook. These are those rookies that you can target. But then you've got these names of, like, if you're looking at an Archie Roberts or a Colby McKercher or a Miles Bergman in your back line, and you want to deal with one of them, these are probably the names you can consider looking to do that. So I'm considering this week a Joe Fonte, only because I was considering him or Caleb Windsor. It was a 50-50 preseason, and I decided to kind of go with the crowd, and I went with a Caleb Windsor. I was never considering both at the same time, but it's one of those ones where maybe that would have been the play. But Joe Fonte, if I go Joe Fonte from an Archie Roberts, I can and then I fix up Ty Gallup with Braden Cook or something, then I can bank 250K, and I can take that into next week and help me on the other end, maybe get a more enticing player and move a mid-pricer on or something next week. So that's kind of an option. It makes me a bit nervy, but he is averaging like 90. I think he's done 9 or 89. He's done 90 and then 84. So his role looks pretty good, I think. You brought up a Wayne Miller as an option as well, which is awesome. Talk me through that one.
Just the quarterback role, plenty of kick-ins. Seems to be a bit of a structural shift at Adelaide. Has previously had some injury-affected seasons.
Yep.
And he was always on the value train. We were just hoping that he was fully fit, and it wasn't the case. But this year he does seem to be fit. Has a cracking beard. Nailed it. And I wouldn't
he always had a beard? He hasn't,
like
has he?
This
I didn't recognize him. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he looked great. I wouldn't mind seeing that for an extra week. And if I don't move on a Kircher this week and I see what McKercher does, and Wayne Miller backs that up, they're the plays I'm talking about. 780K, who could easily give me 20 extra points a week consistently, is the type of player I want to bring in.
Well, and that brings us on to a Jaden Short as well.
Yeah.
Jaden Short's, he looked good too.
Same
he
deal.
He looks like a difference maker for them.
Yeah. They looked...
And probably no surprise.
Vlosten coming back. I don't know how far away Vlosten might be. Or is he retired? Am I an idiot here? He was sitting in the box.
No, he was in the crowd, I think. He was in the... I think he's just injured. I think.
Yeah.
ACL.
They've tried Jaden Short up the ground wing, but he seems to have slot straight back to help out a young defensive setup. But he's had pedigree in the past, so if we can get back to those consistent scores, I guess that's the problem the last 2 seasons has been his lack of consistency.
Ankle fracture for Vlosten, so he'll be out for a little while, I'd imagine, a few weeks at least. That's it, I think. We're done.
Yeah. What a week. So many decisions to make. Prioritize. I guess everyone work out. Is it the rookies you need to fix? Can we hold out these mid-prices for a couple of weeks? What do we do with the Goulden train if it's been derailed? So, yeah, trust your gut. Do your research. And it's only round one.
It's only round one. I got to remind myself of this. The expletives that were in our instant messaging app. You can follow K-Man on Twitter at K-Man_TC Fantasy. You can follow me on Twitter at Contest Fantasy and listen to my implosion over the course of the season. Thank you so much for tuning in. The next episode, first trade therapy of the season. So that means answering some of your questions as well. We'll chuck a tweet out. Be on the lookout for that one. You can get any questions in for us. We will answer them Thursday night before the games, and you will hear those answers on Friday morning, ready for your commute to work. That's all I got. It's a banger.
We're back, baby! We're back!
See you later.